Hello and welcome to my presentation for my final project for Advertising 442. My name is Erica and I'm going to start us off with the outline for this project. We'll be diving into some of the background information to start with client background and reviewing what I've done for research. From there, we'll get started into current insights and what should be done moving forward before I dive into our SMART objectives and KPIs. As I mentioned, we'll begin with our client's background, which happens to be the Lansing Lugnuts for this presentation. The Lansing Lugnuts is a minor league baseball team for the city of Lansing, Michigan. As part of the High A affiliate for its league and a stepping stone for players before a Major League Baseball team, the company came to me with two main goals. As you can see, these goals involved increasing engagement with at least two different demographics, as well as determining what content has been successful in the past and should be continued. In order to reach these goals, I had to examine some of the social media channels and certain data, which we'll dive into here and what we did. While both Facebook and Twitter of the Lansing Lugnuts were provided as sources for data, I chose to focus more so on Facebook to determine amplification and engagement with current audiences. On top of this, audience personas were created to explain potential demographic groups to target. Finally, I examined the data from competitors for the Lansing Lugnuts. Given certain problems with data, the Detroit Tigers were selected as an aspirational target, which I will go into more detail on later. As I mentioned, I examined the current data from the Lansing Lugnuts Facebook. One thing that was found was that posts near the end of the Lansing Lugnuts playing season in August and September, specifically those related to their summer league called the Lemonade League, had a high increase of engagement. In general, looking at all the data presented, the end of the playing season has a record of high engagement. Something exciting I found regarding the audience on Facebook was that all the comments or posts I had seen about Lansing Lugnuts tended to be either very positive or neutral. The neutral engagement, for example, could be a question about an event, game, or player. Many recent posts or comments have been regarding excitement surrounding opening day and the sale of tickets and merchandise. From here, I wanted to dive more into the audience for the Lansing Lugnuts on Facebook. Using a Mintel report called Marketing to Sports Fans, U.S., November 2019, I was provided both information about sports fans, including baseball, as well as statistics on how involved in sports people were, regarding social media, viewing frequency, and other aspects. Currently, there is a push in the sports industry to involve more women in getting interested in sports, as well as a large existing audience for Hispanic men, specifically involving baseball. On top of this, there was also information found regarding demographics, with a focus here on age. These trends led to the basic demographics for the audience profiles, and other information from the report was used to create media habits, values, goals, and challenges. I found out that baseball tends to have an older audience compared to basketball and soccer, hence leading to the idea for Lansing Lugnuts to focus on events and market them to encourage audiences to have friends and families participate as well, therefore expanding the audience of the Lansing Lugnuts. Here is simply another audience persona that was created based off of that Mintel report. I believe these audience personas are backed by the report that was used and will help greatly with the Lansing Lugnuts campaign. Next, I'll be moving on to some of the current insights that were found for the Lansing Lugnuts Facebook in comparison to the competition and overall what has been successful for the social media accounts so far. Based on the What Works analysis, I believe that content related to Lansing Lugnuts game and statistic information or special event and deal information is the most effective for the Lansing Lugnuts on Facebook. The most important insight I found is that while the other category also scored high, this category contained a wide range of posts that did not fit into the other categories. Therefore, while other posts may appear to be more effective, the categories of Lansing Lugnuts game and statistic information and special event and deal information are concise enough to state that it would be the most effective to continue similar posts. The Lansing Lugnuts have room to improve their engagement on Facebook, the key platform of this project. You can tell by looking at Facebook engagement that the engagement rate by follower for the Lansing Lugnuts is a little under half of that for the Detroit Tigers. Because of the high engagement levels on Facebook, we can likely assume the Lansing Lugnuts followers are much more dedicated fans that can continue to boost awareness and engagement with the team. Keeping in mind that the Lansing Lugnuts have a much smaller audience to work with compared to the Detroit Tigers, these pieces of information are valuable to the Lansing Lugnuts as they continue to work on improving their social media platforms. Now, we'll dive a little bit into how the Lansing Lugnuts should continue moving forward with a data-informed social strategy specifically for Facebook. One of the main suggestions moving forward is to stick with Facebook, as you can tell by this graph that the majority of the Lansing Lugnuts followers on all social media channels are from Facebook at close to 70%. I already discussed some of the successful content from Facebook that should be continued, but I've determined that if the Lansing Lugnuts want to expand their audience, it may be best to continue posting content related to the special event and deal information category. This category had the highest amount of shares and likely would be a good tool to continue reaching others connected to those that already follow the Lansing Lugnuts. I do not necessarily recommend paying for visibility, as the team is already well known in the community. Instead, I'd suggest adding additional lines to Facebook captions, such as adding, "Comment the next event you'd like to see," or "Share this with someone you can't wait to attend a Lansing Lugnuts game with." I believe this will boost comments and shares to further reach members of the community. Finally, I have some SMART objectives and KPIs to help provide some measurable objectives for the Lansing Lugnuts on Facebook. The two main focuses for the team are provided here, with suggesting to the team to focus on their most valuable content, which happens to be Lansing Lugnuts game and statistic information, and special event and deal information. On top of this, I'd like the Lansing Lugnuts to continue focusing on their existing audiences, but to expand to those that are already connected in some way to an existing audience member. To do this, I've set the following two objectives for the Lansing Lugnuts: to increase average engagement on Facebook by 20% by October 1st, 2021, and to increase new customer ticket sales by 15% by October 1st, 2021. This correlates with the spike of engagement that typically occurs at the end of the baseball season, so we can see if that engagement increased at all throughout the entire season. Thank you for taking the time to hear about my presentation. I understand that with this presentation being pre-recorded, it creates difficulty concerning answering any questions. So on the slide, I provided my contact information for any comments, questions, or concerns you wish to address. As one last final note, the following slides provide the information from interim reports 1 and 2 that were used for this presentation based on the work from Advertising 442. Thank you.